So today on Project Shop, we're gonna be splitting the stator we pulled out of that big generator. We're gonna try to figure out exactly how much we got out of this. Now, I think I've already gotten about $250 for the steel, and we do still have some copper bit and some other stuff laying around here that went with that. And now we're gonna get on this stator, see how fast we can get that out. But before we get on to that, I found my old chain hoist, and for those of you who've seen this, I put an I-beam up here a while ago, one to hold this thing up, but I put this trolley up here to hold this, and it was kind of, it didn't do what I wanted. I wanted the tool balancer to pull this into the machine, and this thing just let it slide all over, and I actually wind up just taking that off and putting it on the other side. It worked better. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the trolley and we're going to put it on this side, because the reason I have this sticking way out like this on this side is because I want this thing to be able to self-load the big stators that are too heavy for me to pick up. I'm not sure how much that weighs. We'll put a crane scale on that when we pick it up. And I do have a full weight. I think that was over 500 pounds with the casing and all that stuff. So we'll get a weigh in on it when we're done and see if it was worth it compared to whether just selling it off for 25 or 35 cents a pound, whatever electric motors are going for. Okay, I think this is coming out great. Now, a couple issues. One, this thing is like tweaking back this way. Not tweaking, but have you seen in my last videos where like I put this spacer in here? This thing moves around a lot. This whole thing still needs to be tightened up. We got a lot of work to do here. And right now, this thing is on a slant that way, so we're gonna have to figure something out with that. And I think making the guides down here is gonna just take all that away. Also, I got the big threads on this side. I really need to swap them around because it's literally all the pressure is going that way. So the bigger threads would do more justice over here. I don't think these things are going anywhere. I think those are plenty strong enough for what I'm doing here. It is a lot of leverage out there, but I think we're well within redneck spec. So I did put the crane scale on it. It was 257 pounds. So that's a nice little chunk right there. Definitely, I don't want to be picking that up with my back. Now this is kind of pushing out on these, I got some stops clamped on here. So this thing, not going to slide off. And this is just a Harbor Freight. I believe this is a 1 or 2 ton. I think it's a 2 ton. So we're well within the limits of this. I've had this thing forever. Yeah, we definitely want to make this either electric. Well, I mean electric, because I don't want to sit here doing this. But, I'll tell you what, doing this is way better than trying to pick up 257 pounds. like from here up is pretty, that's hard to tell. I don't know. To move it around, it's not. I guess we're pretty square. We might as well just try it, see where we're at. Give this thing some lube. Okay. We're about centered. Let me go get some glasses. Then cut through that thing like butter. Now, the only problem is this thing was walking all over the place, which for that pointed blade is really bad. That wasn't too bad. See, that's a problem. I don't know how square we are. And that blade is moving around a lot. Yeah, we already jumped Pratt. Why I need a pin in this thing. Let me put a clamp on that. All right. Maybe that'll help. Okay, we're back at it. The GoPro died. My dinner was done, and then I was done. So we're back at it. It's, I mean, we were probably, what, 5 minutes into this, if that. So we're gonna go ahead and lube this thing up some more. Make sure we got plenty of lube. And we're just gonna keep at it. Safety first. Now, gotta make sure we're back in the same the same groove. There we go. might be it. Woo! Man, we were only one off, and it looks like it cut right through it, no problem. Just have to be careful. This is some sharp stuff. Yeah, somewhere like on these seams, it seems like they may have welded them or something. Okay, so now that big boy, look at all that copper. I think this is going to be tough to pull because when I grab that, I'm going to be grabbing so much at once, I'm going to have to work it loose. I see a lot of glue in there. These ones are pretty much straight on, so hopefully the ones where they're twisted like that, they bind up a lot. Hopefully this comes out pretty easy. Now, I got people telling me last time I should put some penetrating oil on there. I mean, I'm not opposed to trying it. Probably should have thought about that like last night. Let it soak in there. So I'm gonna soak these. I'm gonna get this. I think I'm gonna have to lower this down. Yeah, hopefully that'll do something. Now without a control, like I should have probably done one without it and then, you know, soaked it for a while. But, you know, when I'm doing this is gonna be a production setup, man. I'm not gonna wait around for penetrating oil. I wanna split them and pull it and move to the next one. So we'll see if that does anything at all. It might help. Okay, moment of truth. Gonna be a tough one. Pulling the metal. I think this is gonna be okay. Just I gotta work it loose because it's. Oh yeah. I'll tell you what, man. Without these hydraulics and without splitting it, this is a lot of work. That machine's back there in low gear pulling this right now. Now it kicked into high gear. lot of fingers out at once, man. That's a lot of pressure. Let me see what time it is. It's like that paper kind of absorbed it. I should have probably only done one and seen how it reacted. Now I'm gonna have to turn this. This is why on them smaller ones, I built that thing to push this up, because when I do this, I can't get. It's hard for me to get up underneath there. So we'll just keep going up here for a little bit. This is not something you want to be doing with like a hammer and a punch. Now, some of them I could see you doing that with, especially like the smaller ones. Some of these big stators, there's no way a hammer and a punch is going to get it. I'm watching how hard these hydraulics are struggling. Rotate this a little bit. Damn, if I can get in there just right, I think I can get that in one pull. Look at that. Yeah, oh, almost. Some little stragglers. If I can grab that. Okay. So that literally took like 7 minutes. Most of the time was me waiting for this thing to come back. So with better hydraulics, I mean faster, we're going to be able to get this down to within minutes. I mean, we should have had that done. I should be able to pull all that out in a minute, like with the proper hydraulic setup. All right, let's get this next one in here. Man, I'm about to get this whole thing out in one piece. Okay, of course the GoPro got hot and shut off, but let's see if we can't continue this. tried. I almost got it out in one piece. Probably wasted a little time trying to do that. We should just be buking it out. Okay. Woo! I mean, that is a nice little pile of copper. Too bad I couldn't get that all in one shot. It just, I missed one of them and it just uked it out and messed it up. Okay. We have 67.5 pounds minus 30. So 37.5. I get 375. Copper went up a couple cents since the last time I was there. So we're talking about $140 just in the copper. That's actually pretty good. Wait a minute. We have this too. We have this, and we still have that to recover copper out of. Let's see how much this weighs. Basically another 5 pounds. So that's another like what, 18 bucks or something. So we're almost there, man. I mean, by the time we pull that, we're definitely going to be there. Okay, here we go. 180. $216. That's a nice chunk, man. I don't know if we're going to get 37 pounds of copper out of there, but we're going to get a nice chunk. Okay, we got some tools out here. We're going to first try to pull the bearing off with this puller. And then I got to get the grinder out here. We're going to grind these tabs off. Well, maybe just on this side. And then I got the air hammer with pretty much a flat blade. We're just going to run that down there. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see if we can't get a good grip on this. Ah, there we go. Oh, that was it. still a good bearing. There's a couple more I recovered. That's still a good one. This one's shot. Well, it might be good. I try to recover this stuff because, man, this shit is super expensive if you got to buy that. I mean, that's probably, who knows, man, it could be $80 to $100 bearing. So we'll put that with the goodie box. Okay, I lowered this thing down. I got it set up. I got a block of wood on there. We got it holding against this lip so it don't drag forward. I'm actually going to raise this up for a second. So what I did is I took my chain and just looped it around here. I just kind of slid that ring on there, and then I'm going to hook this up. I'm going to see if it does anything. Now, I took the chisel and I drove it down in between the metal and the copper, and it pushed it out a little bit. So I'm hoping it freed up some of that glue. And also, I noticed the whole back of this thing and all of these lines, I'll show you here in a minute, it's all copper. So when I get all this out, I'm gonna see if I can't dig some of that copper out of there, see how much of it is actually there. I mean, you can see right in here, that's all copper. So let's bang this thing in there. Probably gonna have to come up with this. I knew this was gonna be a problem. This is temporary. I need to put a pin back in here somewhere to hold the plates, because this is already in my way. Yeah, see, this is already, my glasses on, there's shit flying everywhere. It needs to be a different style hook because I'm already bottoming out on this. This doesn't work. Now my hook is stuck in there. Okay, what we're gonna do is just shorten this up as much as we can. Give it a yank. Now this is like probably level 5 redneck sketchiness. I don't recommend this. We're gonna have to come up with a different chain setup. Oh, should probably tighten this up. I'm bending my hook. Not yet. Hold some pressure on there and hit this with the air hammer. We're out of stroke. That's interesting. Wow. Let's see if I can't just grab it with this. Now that we got some room. Man, I'll tell you what. Man, without hydraulics, this ain't no simple task. That is a nice chunk of copper right there. Let's get a quick weigh in on that. £10 without the end. So 10, 20, 30, 40. There's more pounds in this than there was in the whole big thing. So that's another 40 pounds. I don't know, I'm starting to think it's well worth getting the copper out of this. We'll find out here in a minute. We're just gonna keep at it. Okay, I'm gonna give you some head cam action. Hopefully we can get through this before it gets hot and shut off. Look at all that copper there, man. I don't think I've ever seen copper on there like that. Let's see what we're gonna do here. We need to, first, we need to loosen up the back end. Sorry for the noise, this is gonna be loud. See that? Man, that pretty much gets right up in there and breaks all that glue. I wish I had like a long chisel. We don't want to get it stuck. See that? Opens it up. That's a huge part of making that come out easy. Okay, let's see here. Now, I need to bring this out here a little bit. Now, I did notice that just driving this down in there, it's like a wedge, so it kind of starts breaking it free already. Whoa! We want to get it all the way in there. Drop back down in there. Our little spacer. Now watch this hole. Woo, that wood gets crushed by that 100-ton press. Okay, now for this sketchiness. Just gonna throw that on the handle. We're making a mess with all of our copper. Kind of keep that contained. And then we want to bring this all the way up as far as we can. Yep, a little more, perfect. We want to put some pressure on it. Oh, look at that. She's coming right out. That's it. That's all we get. We ran out of stroke. So I'll tell you what, you would think that cylinder there, which probably has a 2.5 or 3 foot stroke, you would think that thing would be a plenty enough, but I'm constantly finding I'm running out of stroke on this thing. Look at that. Nice solid freaking chunks there, man. Okay, let's get this out. I wanna see about this copper plate. Yeah, look, I ran the thing down in there. That copper must have been poured in there somehow. I don't think we're going to be able to get it all, but we might be able to free up that plate if we do some selective. Look at that. Come on. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. Let's try this while we're here. Oh yeah. This is a bonus. Man, that's a nice little thick chunk of copper there. Nice little bonus. Let's see if we can't free that up. Wow. Dag! Look at that! It's whole like copper. I wonder if I could punch them out. That's a ton of copper in there, man. Holy crap. Oh, you know what? This is going to be tough because, hold on. I gotta cut these off. Otherwise, I gotta slide that plate off that whole thing. Hopefully we can get this done before the GoPro dies. Okay. Let's see if we can't liberate this. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah. When in doubt, beat it out. Dang, that's a nice piece of copper. Now, I don't know how much of that we're going to be able to get. Dang, I mean, we'll easily be able to get 4 of them out, but there's a lot in there, man. I wonder if I peeled back oops. I wonder if I peeled back some of this and grabbed it with the claw. We'll knock a couple of these out. We'll knock the ones out we can. And then we'll try. Now, I wasn't expecting this, so I'm not really gonna I'm not going to be really counting on this. I mean, this is a little above and beyond. Woo! Yeah, I'm thinking if I could peel some back. That's nice, man. Chisel and chiseled away so I have a little bit to grab onto. Now, I highly doubt this is actually going to work, but we're here for it. We're going to try. I think because the glue is not broken in there, I'm probably just going to wind up nipping this off. Yeah, it's kind of exactly what I thought was going to happen. Because when I hammered them down, I freed up all the glue and they popped right out. But there's no way for me to hammer down on these because they're in the middle. I don't know, did that one move? I don't think so. Okay, I mean, that was a big waste of time. I knew that was probably going to happen. Unless I like ran down it maybe with the grinder. I don't know, maybe I'll mess with it later. But I think that's the first time I ever seen one like that. Or maybe they've all had plates on it and I've just been missing out on all the plates. So the way it looks, you can see that there. It looks like they slid those in when they were building it, and then they soldered them or welded them somehow to the ends. So, but I'll tell you what, man, we got ourselves a nice little chunk of little bonus copper here. That wasn't too bad. I mean, just knocking that out real quick, I think that's worth whatever we got here. You know, it probably took me whatever that was, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to do that, I don't know. Let's just relieve the pressure on this real quick. Okay, we're going to find a bucket. I want to weigh this stuff, see where we're at, and then we'll dump it in with the rest. I want to see what that weighs by itself. Okay, I almost forgot about this thing. This was actually part of the stator. So I'm just going to run the air chisel into this, flip it over, and then pry those things out real quick. That's not really a lot of copper, but it is going to add to it. Okay, we're zeroed. Let's start off with the main event here. Just the coils was 45 pounds. That's what I'm talking about. Now, we did pull these bars out. That's 3 pounds. Oh, we're so close. Do we have anything else? Anything else? No? Dag. 49.4. I'm gonna tear it. See how much this thing weighed. Okay, a couple little stragglers here and there. 2.3 pounds. 124.7 minus 30. So I'm gonna take a break. I'll add that all up, see if it was actually worth pulling that apart. Okay, here's what the breakdown comes out to. So we had a 693 pound stator from a generator. If I would have sold it as is for, I got 35 cents a pound for motors, I would have got $242.55. Not bad for just offing it. Now, broke down, there was 599 pounds of steel at 0.095 cents a pound. That would have been $56.90. And then 94 pounds of copper we recovered at $3.75 a pound for $352.50. Would have come out to $409.40. That's not bad for the little bit of time it took me to break that down. So the difference of just selling it off or breaking it down was $166.90. Now, overall, I made about $659 on that trailer. I got $250 for all the prepared steel and all the tin sheet. And it took us overall, even including with this, which was about an hour, about 5 hours. So that comes out to about $131.80 an hour. That's not bad. So it took me like probably an hour to get it. And then me and Steve cut that up, you know, at the end of the day over 2 nights. We might have had an hour and a half of cutting and disassembling. It came right apart. Once we got the top off and was able to get in there with some wrenches to split the stator and the motor, it just came right apart. And then the torch made light work of the rest. I love my torch. So I went back and watched the footage on the stator. It took me 8 minutes to split that. Even though I started it the one day, I put like maybe a minute or 2 into it and then 5 minutes on the second time. Once it got going, it actually went pretty quick. Pretty much it took longer for me to pull the thing up, you know, pull the machine back up out of the cut and reset it and split it again. But we're gonna work on that. We're gonna speed up them hydraulics. And then to pull it, the first one I did in 10 minutes. It took me longer to do the first one than it did to actually do the second one. I think because I was working around and pulling little bits at a time, and I wasn't like letting that thing stroke out all the way. So we have like 25 minutes in actually splitting and pulling it, and probably another 5 minutes of you know, setting the machine up in between the two operations. And pretty much the same thing goes for this all the way up until I started playing with the copper bars and the thing on the end. So it was probably about an hour overall. Now the little bit of stuff I did here at the end, I'm not even going to include that because that's not really part of it. And I'm actually thinking about taking my grinder and cutting a kind of like just a straight cut down in here, and then one here, and then seeing if I can't knock these over or just start knocking this out, and freeing that up a little bit. I don't know if it's even worth it, but these are heavy chunks of copper, you know, and we got a nice little chunk in here. And I actually have, that's some of the wiring harness right there, and some big copper and the breaker, all this. There's some big nuggets over here. That's some big wire. So that still needs to be stripped. And we have all this crap. So if you've come this far, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We got more scrap and mayhem. Matter of fact, I got 2 pallets of AC scrap outside. I'm probably going to bring in right now. And we're going to do a little bit of AC scrapping. I got some electric motors. There's actually one, yeah, there's one up on the table. We got that squirrel fan. I got 2 air handlers and 2 compressors outside. So, oh, and I got this big transformer. I want to see if I can't pull the transformer out of here. We might be able to split it in half, pull the stuff out. I don't know. But stay tuned because the scrap never ends around here. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard. Dancing. You ever seen a copper dance before?